Yes. The rhythm, the rebel. Rhythm, the rebel. Yes, yes. We are back. It is 6:27 in the PM here on Friday. February the 7th, 2025. We are finally, we're knee deep in Black History Month. And somebody who probably is not a huge fan of that is a man who has made it his life's effort, his life's work to destroy any DEI or any type of acknowledgement of Black history in our culture. And that is the world's richest man, Elon Musk, who has, in a sense, seized our government. The world's richest man is waging a war against what he says is the bureaucracy of the American government. It has been 2 weeks since he started leading the government's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. How cute. Him and his team have gained access to very sensitive financial and data systems. Yeah, you heard that right. Very sensitive access and data system. They have fired officials who have warned against breaching certain government protocols. They have, he has successfully pushed for Donald Trump to pick Troy Mike as the Air Force Secretary. Now, why is that important? Because Troy Mike actually ran the Pentagon's National Reconnaissance Office, and he helped Elon Musk secure a multi-billion dollar contract for SpaceX to build and deploy a spy satellite network for the American government. Money. So he has so many interests in our government, and he's currently controlling our government. Sounds like a conflict of interest. Musk and his team have also taken over the U.S. Digital Service and have named it the United States DOGE Service. They have also gained access to the Treasury Payment System, which is a powerful tool to monitor and potentially limit the government spending. Again, nobody voted for Elon Musk. Nobody voted for the 22 to 25-year-olds that he has currently running our government systems. Nobody voted for this. This is not what people voted for, but again, this is being done solely at the behest of our president, Donald John Trump, who himself has, obviously no regard for any laws or anything else. They've also reportedly breached the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid services and have gotten access to key payment and contracting systems there. Again, you mess around there, people won't get their health care, people won't get whatever payments they're supposed to get. Who knows? Again, and these, the people that Elon Musk have hired are college students. They're college-age young men, guys between the ages of 21 and 25. That is his computer team, that he is his team of tech bros that he's put together to essentially reformat our entire government systems. Now, the Office of Personnel Management is the latest federal agency that is looking at cuts by the Department of Government Efficiency. Brian Bjelde, a top DOGE official, informed the senior staff at the OPM, or the Office of Personnel Management, that the plan was to cut 70% of their internal staff. 70%. OPM leaders were then initially they were prepared for a 30% cut. But it's now looking like it's going to be 70%. That is incredible. Now, Elon Musk, it is important to say, cannot be involved in any of this without running into some form of conflict of interest. The man is inherently financially intertwined with the American government in virtually every way. So all of this that he is doing is a giant conflict of interest. Humongous. And this is, a lot of this is about inculcating himself from any type of accountability from different things that our government has come after him for. A number of different agencies have sued him for environmental issues, for labor issues, for union busting, and for securities violations. And so this is important for a man who has billions. That's what it be. Billions. Billions of dollars in financial contracts. He is a oligarch. And it's funny, we never use that term oligarch for Americans or American adjacent people like Elon Musk. We and I say we because technically I'm a part of the media here in America, technically speaking. We in the American media use the term oligarch to describe Russian billionaires that we don't like because, oh my God, Vladimir Putin and his oligarchs. What do you think Elon Musk is? What do you think Jeff Bezos is from Amazon? What do you think Mark Zuckerberg is? What do you think Bill Gates is? What do you think George Soros is? All of these billionaires are oligarchs, just as much as the ones in Russia or in China or in any country where you have a government that we don't like. But we in America have been brainwashed into thinking, oh, well, these capitalists that we have in this country, they deserve to have billions and billions and billions of dollars in contracts. They deserve to be able to have conflicts of interest where they can buy our politicians and insulate themselves from any prosecution for labor violations and from environmental violations and securities fraud and all this other stuff that they commit on a regular basis. These people are oligarchs. To the point where there have been studies, multiple studies done. I think one was done by Princeton University that found that America is not even a democracy at this point. And we certainly ain't a constitutional republic. We're an oligarchy. That's what we are. We are an oligarchy. And people like Elon Musk seizing our government is just making that even more obvious than it already was. We were already an oligarchy. We were an oligarchy 10 years ago. We were an oligarchy 15 years ago when Obama was president. We were oligarchy then. But now we're just more overtly, nakedly an oligarchy. So some people in the press actually tried to do their job, and they asked Donald Trump's press secretary, the new young blonde bobblehead, how's this whole thing going to happen where Elon Musk has seized control of our government while at the same time having massive, massive conflicts of interest? And basically, she said that it's up to Elon Musk to police himself. Like, seriously? Seriously. Come on. And Donald Trump was asked about this. And he said himself that if Elon, and this is what Trump said, that if Elon comes across a conflict of interest with the contracts and the funding that Doge is overseeing, that he will exclude himself from those contracts. So it is up to the richest man in history to exclude himself. He's going to exclude himself if there happens to be any conflicts of interest. he is a government contractor. He gets some 15 billion, yes, 15 billion dollars in taxpayer dollars every year. He also has foreign entanglements and a lot of business in China and other countries around the world. So exactly how is this man going to police himself when virtually everything he touches is something that he is invested in some way within our government? Maybe the caller knows. What's up, caller?
Nah, I don't know, Scott.
You don't know what?
I don't know what. Kind of like the police in their self.
What?
So I said it's kind of like the police their self.
Yeah, and how's that working out?
It don't work out at all. But
Exactly.
A lot of people that says it's okay. But Scott, do you think a lot of these things that Trump is putting these executive orders on, he knows it's illegal what he's doing. He knows it's going to be overturned. But do you think this is a distraction for other things, just like with Elon Musk having access to the U.S. Treasury now?
Mm-hmm.
And he's going in there, looking at everybody's money and everything. And I'm just wondering how other billionaires in the United States is feeling about this.
Mm-hmm.
They open up my records to this dude. He might be my competition.
Yep.
But yet you have opened my records to him, and he's in the U.S. Treasury with his people who knows what they're doing. Because, like you just said, they're going to govern themselves. And when Trump was talking about with Gaza, I think he knew damn well that those surrounding countries wasn't going to go for it. But I'm going to throw this out there and get everybody talking about this. I'm going to push this birthright thing out there, put that on everybody's mind. I'm even putting this thing out here about dismantling the FBI because they went after my people, which he has already fired a bunch of people from the FBI. But having a brother that worked in the FBI, he said a lot of those people will regain their jobs back after they fell off. And you look at when he was talking about banning green. Everybody knows Greenland is not for sale, especially not to Trump, just like with Gaza and other things that he are throwing out there to throw distraction on what I want to do, and I'm going to roll with that. And when a lot of people talk about, you hear them say, well, it's the black man's fault, it's the Latino fault, they the one went out there voting for Trump. But I lay a lot of the blame at the Democrat people because you guys were the one that basically was so intrigued into pushing your LBGT, your Black Lives Matter, handing out money hand and foot, basically telling anytime something that went to go on, you ran and grabbed a black woman and stuck her in front of the mic. So you basically told the African American man, and I looked at what went on in Chicago, it wasn't just the African American man. That immigrant thing was a big hit to a lot of African Americans, and I think that's why they switched over because we saw the videos of the black women in Chicago saying we're going to turn this city red, and I guess the Democrats didn't believe them. Yeah, you look at the number of millions of people who just didn't even vote. So I think the Democratic Party felt that a lot of black people were just running their mouths, and you get people saying, well, look what you got now, look what you got now.
Yep.
I guess what they're saying is, I'd rather go through this again. I'd rather go through this because I already know what you had on your agenda. Nothing for the black community. You were going to take care of migrants. And when you look at a governor like Princeton, he makes money in the hotel industry, in the agriculture industry. He uses illegal immigrants. So him running his mouth when Donald Trump was talking about cutting Illinois out for grants and stuff like that, it wasn't going to affect him, so he didn't care any which way it goes. You have a good night.
I agree with you 100% there, Daryl. I would always agree with you, but I felt you was right there with everything you were saying right there. There is a distraction to a lot of it, and that's why I said in the last segment, Trump could be lying about what he's saying about Gaza. He could just be trying to distract people. He could just be trying to stall, trying to make sure his people get to the Middle East, his gangsters, to make sure the ceasefire stays in place. You just really never know whether Trump is 100% serious about. You could even say that about the stuff, obviously, about talking about annexing Canada. When he's talking about annexing Canada, obviously, I don't think he thinks he's actually going to annex Canada. He might be serious about Greenland, but I think more than likely, I just think he wants either Greenland to be independent and to agree to allow the United States to basically use Greenland as an outpost to prevent China from getting a stronghold in the Atlantic. So, Donald Trump is definitely somebody who will use distraction. And you're right, he will sign things knowing that it will be struck down by the courts. But the sort of shock and awe strategy that they're doing, that the Republicans are doing, is basically, if they strike down 8 things, we'll get 2 things through. And this is what, and I agree with you, it is the Democrats' fault. This is why I complain about them on a weekly basis here. And I guess now on Tuesdays, now I get to complain about the Democrats 2 days a week, okay? Joe Biden could have done the same thing. But the Democrats are so beholden to their donor class that they say, oh, the parliamentarian won't let me do this. Well, George W. Bush literally fired the parliamentarian when the parliamentarian didn't let him do what he wanted to do. The parliamentarian is a totally ceremonial, like the parliamentarian doesn't have any actual power. Oh, well, Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin. Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin are in your party. You could make them act right if you wanted to. You have all kinds of leverage over those people. But this is what happens when you don't have 2 parties. You have 2 right-wing corporate parties that are really like a uniparty. That one that pretends to be a left-wing party, one that admits that it's a right-wing party. And so it's sort of a ratcheting effect where the country continuously goes to the right, and more of our civil liberties are going away and more of our institutions are taking over while they pretend to fight. One party is pretending that they're trying to stop it when they're not actually trying to do it. They're not actually trying to stop the right-wing lurch. Bill Clinton embraced it. Barack Obama embraced it. Joe Biden embraced it. All of these people were a part of the country's lurch to the right. And then, like you said, they used the gay stuff, the transgender stuff, as a distraction as well. Oh yeah, we're still on your side because Black Lives Matter. Okay, where you at about reparations? Crickets. But a lot of this is coming back to bite them, and we're seeing that at this point, where there's been so many people over there, like you said, in Chicago, who have been just blatantly outraged about what people like Brandon Johnson have done, and they didn't think that a lot of black people would not vote for them. They didn't think that a lot of black people would not vote for them. They thought all we got to do is scare them about Trump, and they won't care that we're filling their cities with all these illegal immigrants. They won't care. So what millions of people did was they stayed home. The story wasn't that black people voted for Trump. The story is that 90 million people stayed home on election day. Donald Trump talks about this mandate he got. 29% of the population voted for Donald Trump. 29%. 28% voted for Kamala. Only a little bit over half, about 57% of the population voted. Of voting age population voted. The overwhelming majority of people are just sick of both of their crap. 90 million people. If did not vote, was a candidate, did not vote, would have won. Would have gotten about 90 million votes to Trump's 80-something million and to Kamala's 82 million, I think. So, here it is. Let me get this other caller. Hello, caller.
Well, good evening.
What's up?
I'll try to keep it under 2 minutes. I'm joking. No, the idea of a new illustrious president, Mr. Trump. Oh my gosh, the word honor just flew out the window like a ballistic missile. Honor? Are you kidding me? Honor amongst thieves, maybe. I don't know. It's like the idea of shock and awe. I like that because I think that's what the announcement of Gaza was about, just to get the people riled up so it's kind of just distractions. Mm-hmm. The reality is they want to get about $2 trillion out of our budget. They really can't afford it. So they have to get rid of Medicare or find a way to get rid of the entitlements so they could give tax breaks. It's really about tax breaks, Mm-hmm. And Mr. Musk is a, military contractor. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yep.
Now here's the interesting thing. There used to be a law called the Fairness Doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
It was eliminated under President Reagan's time, and it was orchestrated by the churches, the religious organizations, and the energy policies. So the people that represent energy and religion also are with the military-industrial complex. So that's why you can't really talk about it. Okay? Mm. That's why when you talk about reparations, you have to start out by talking about religion. Because it's Catholic Church first that made chattel slavery be the thing of the future. And then with the ruling of the King James bunch, they created white people. And of course, we all know white is angelic, right? So they create this label that inspires the people that own those, that are participating with those labels, as getting their place in history. And so if you're the wrong label, you get to live with the pit. And you never can leave it. And after a while, it's like women become the object of profitability instead of motherhood. Right? Yeah. And over here, if I ask a guy that I might talk to on the other radio station over there, what ethnicity is white, by the way? They'll just hang up because they don't know how to answer it. And we don't ever talk about it here, which I'm kind of shocked because reparations are something that are overdue. But there's no discussion about it. It's just the crickets,
I heard that. I agree with you. But again, it's not really profitable for either of the two parties to have a situation where the affected communities would be off of their knees. The purpose is to keep us subordinate. And so whether you're a Democrat, whether you're a Republican, whether you're neither, like myself, both of the two mainstream parties, they want to keep people subordinate. That's right. That's basically where they are.
And I use the expression in the pit.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
I use the expression in the pit. Yeah. It's not my expression, but it's a great expression. It's in the pit, okay? Mm-hmm. And when you think that you're getting out of it, you're just participating with what's a fake thing. I mean, you're pretending to be like the people you want to be, and it's a facade. Yep. And so we do all kinds of cultural things to participate as if they would ever accept us, Of course not. It's religious. Go back to the beginning of what I said. When the Catholic Church announced chattel slavery to be the way of history, they never changed that. And we won't talk about it.
Well, thank you for your call. I got to go to a break. But thank you for your call, brother. As always, illuminating.
Yeah. Bless up, brother. Big
It's
up.
all good. All right, folks. It is 6:52 in the p.m. Good God, this time is going by fast. I got to go to a break. When we come back, it's time for Happy Happies. Time to, have a positive discourse. Our political system is our political situation can be so depressing, can be so anxiety inducing. Let's do something positive and celebrate some birthdays. We'll be right back after these.